Well, good morning and welcome back to another installment of New Home, Same Address, where we give you the ins, the outs, the ups and the downs of the bathroom and kitchen remodeling scene, specifically in Arkansas, but even more abroad across the country. So at least that's our goal anyways.
Well, now they know where we are.
Sorry, they won't find us. We're in a secure location.
We actually want them to find us.
Yes,
They're
we do.
local. Like, they need to know where we are.
We do.
Precisely. So we have a frequently asked question that I think we should cover. Something we definitely need to talk about is maybe past experiences with different companies or contractors or businesses. But the question or the kind of statement, I guess, maybe is made is that, I've been jipped before. I've been like short-legged before with this company. They never came back to finish, or ended up being like way more, like there was like more back-end charges than I wasn't aware of. So how do you guys specifically here at Ozark Kitchens and Baths make sure that doesn't happen, that we're not going to be affected in that way?
Yeah. Well, first of all, that makes me really mad when I hear that because, and I hear it too often that people were taken advantage of. There's several different ways we could take several different scenarios that you mentioned. The worst one, I think, is collecting all the money up front and you never see them again, which I mean, it's stealing is what it is.
Yeah. By definition, theft.
Yes, exactly.
Thank you.
So, unfortunately, that has been a part of the contractor world for too long. And so it gives the good guys a bad reputation because contractors are known to be, they're going to take your money and run. So it is unfortunate that it happens. So we can talk about that part of your question first.
Okay.
I think the other one was they didn't finish, like they started and didn't finish, or I want to say there was one.
Making sure there isn't any hidden fees.
Coming back and adding stuff at the end, saying, "Oh, you owe me another X amount."
I mean, you already signed a contract, so you're liable to pay and stuff like that.
Sure. So you mentioned contract. I think that is the best place to start because it is a legal document that both of you should sign, the contractor and the property owner. So without that, you kind of don't have much defense. You've essentially given them a check with no other than a verbal agreement, and they took off. So for sure, make sure whoever you do business with, it is in writing. It is clear what's going to take place, how the payments are going to work, and what happens if there is an issue.
Right.
So we take care of that through a contract.
Did you type your own contract?
I did not.
Good.
Yep.
It's okay.
Well, I just want to clarify that this is not something, as a contractor, we're not legal advisors and stuff like that, so we don't use one that we just, pulled off the internet or, this sounds good, let's use this. Like, we actually had it written up to protect both sides because it protects us but it protects the client, and that's very important.
Yeah, it is very important.
No, we had legal help with that. An attorney wrote it up for us, and I would recommend contractors as well to pay the money to have that done for you because there's a lot of things you don't necessarily think about. Just writing on a piece of paper what you're going to do does not cover the legal aspect of protecting yourself or the homeowner. Right. So that's the first place we start with that. And I've had clients that are attorneys that have read through it and asked for some changes. And I was happy to do that for them because their particular situation. But I would say in general, the most important thing is to read through the contract, make sure you understand it. And that gives you some ammunition should the contractor leave without finishing the job. So you have some recourse there.
Right.
And it doesn't usually, like ours specifically covers the like how draws are made too. So how much is up front, because we do require that because that's part of the protection for us, especially with custom products. But then are you going to expect the rest of it after 2 weeks, or do you do it on a percentage basis? And I know it changes based on the project and the timeline and things like that, but it does give a clear, defined process for when draws would be made. And that's also an important part, not just just the scope of work, but how payment is going to take place.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, and I would also advise for a large project, most projects in general, to not pay 100%
Right.
up front. A portion, it's common for half or a third. Those are common deposits towards the project, but I wouldn't recommend anyone paying it in full up front.
Yeah.
Just for their own protection, because and then short of legal action, there's not much leverage that you hold as a homeowner if you've already paid for everything.
Right.
So that's how we protect our clients, is with a contract. And I mean, we're honest. We're not going to just take your money and run with it, because we're here to build and grow a business with a good reputation. That's what we're here for.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then if someone starts and doesn't finish, that's a little more of a tricky situation to find yourself in.
Right.
You need to define, like, what does it mean to not have finished, because especially during COVID, it's not as big of an issue now, but during that season the supply chain was so off. So they haven't finished. It's been 12 weeks, but could they? Had the light fixtures come in? Could they come in? We had boats get trapped in canals. I mean, do you know how many appliances were on that ship? I mean, it was hilarious when you realize no one can get appliances, and we're like, oh, that ship that stuck. It was carrying a huge amount of them, and it blocked the canal for the rest of them to get through. So what seemed to be a small problem was actually a huge problem for our whole industry. So those type of things, sometimes they haven't finished. Sometimes it's because of issues like that, and that should be one of those communication things that you would be communicating with your client. But clarifying if someone hasn't finished and they've just walked with your money, that's a whole different issue.
Right.
Yeah, for sure. That's different. And if that has happened to you, like they started and half the work is done, you can't find them, they won't answer their phone, like emails, anything, I would recommend getting some legal help. Just to figure out what your options are.
So to dive a little bit deeper, specifically with Ozark Kitchens and Baths, let's say we're nearing the end of a project, and I know this from firsthand experience, but what would you do? Like, what is your route to take to handle the situation of where there are last few bits and pieces that we're putting together for the kitchen remodel, for the bathroom remodel, but we can't get our hands on it like quick enough or like fast enough, like we're nearing the end of a job, and we're also transitioning to start other ones as well. You know what I mean? So like, how would you go about making sure that the clients felt heard and still felt important? You know, because we told them from start to finish we're going to be there. So, you know, things of like, you know, just a couple bits and pieces of a kitchen that, like, you know, for say the appliances are the last one, well, we can't get this one specifically in until this. So it's possible, you know, that we can move away and then come back. How would you handle that?
Well, those situations are typically outside of our control.
Okay.
It's not that, well, we just can't get over there. You know, we're too busy to get back over there and finish. Okay. It's usually because maybe there was a missing part that had to be ordered. And there's nothing we can do until it comes in.
I called about one of those yesterday. That was fun.
You know, we still have a job. It had a custom built-in coffee espresso type machine that it's been a year and a half. And the manufacturer is just not able to catch up to produce them fast enough.
Oh, wow.
So I don't know if or when that coffee maker will be ready. So there are situations like that we just can't help. But we try within everything that's in our power to get it wrapped up as quick as we can.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And so would you say as soon as that product comes in, they immediately just move back up to the top for the day?
Yeah, as soon as it comes in, we try to work them into the schedule as soon as possible.
Right.
We don't like it hanging over our heads either. Like we don't want to have those unfinished jobs. It's just it stays on our books. It keeps another sticky note on my desk, or you know, things like that. Those are things we want. We want you to be happy. We want it to be done. So there's a lot of motivation to get it done, not just our obligation, which of course is utmost of importance, but we just want it done as well.
There is a difference also between warranty work and finishing the job. So you can walk away from a job and think you're finished, and inevitably the homeowner will find things that they didn't notice until they actually start using the space.
Okay.
And then they start putting a list together. For us, that falls under warranty work, or like, we're going to come back and finish it. We did complete the job. It's just you've noticed a few things that weren't quite up to par. And we want to correct those. But at that point, all of us have considered the job finished. And it's just some things that pop up over time that we just kind of consider warranty work to take care of.
Okay.
And we do try to schedule those out. Those are scheduled a little bit differently.
Yeah, because it's not critical. You can still use your space for the
If it's critical, that's a different ballgame.
we get over there as soon as possible. But generally, it's just like little touch-up things. And that's why working with us is somewhat different than most, because we do offer lifetime labor warranty. And then, of course, our products are manufacturer warranties, whatever those are. But that's a little bit different situation. And then another thing that can arise on the legal end is a lien against your home. So a lot of property owners don't realize that if a contractor or subcontractor doesn't get paid or doesn't pay for their materials, they can put a lien against your house. And sometimes you may not know until you receive that lien. So
like if you ordered tile from someone and then didn't pay for it, but the tile went into this person's home, the tile company could come against the homeowner.
They could, yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Most states.
No good.
Yeah, it's not a fun thing to find out.
Not fun. So if that is a concern for you, and it never hurts to ask for a lien release. So that just is a document that the subcontractor or the supplier provides the property owner saying, we're not going to file a lien. We've been paid. Everything's paid in full. So that's a common practice in the contract world is for homeowners to ask for a lien release.
It's just an extra level of protection. And it's also like, if we're willing to provide that to you straight from the vendor or the supplier, that gives you another vote of confidence that we're doing what we're supposed to do, because we are paying our bills.
Right.
Which is important. You need to pay us so we can pay the bills.
Absolutely.
Yeah. There was a third thing too. I was thinking there was something, maybe we covered it. I don't remember.
Well, we talked about why we use contracts, them not finishing all the work, and then, of course, you've covered liens.
Yeah. I was thinking there was one other thing. Anyway.
I do have a question.
Okay.
And we can dive even a little bit deeper. So say, I don't know what to do with my hands.
Don't tap the microphone.
Oh, so it's loud. Oh, okay, gotcha. So to go a little bit deeper, I just thought of this off the top of my head. So if you think it's a dumb question, just say, Justin, that is a dumb question. We'll move on.
Very well.
But
fair enough.
Fair enough. No pressure. What if, how do you draw the line between finished job and warranty work? Because what if it's immediately after, the day after, you guys missed this, you guys missed this? How do you know that the lines won't be blurred within what we said we were going to do in the contract versus now that it becomes warranty work? Like we messed up, so. Yeah,
no, that's a great question. So typically the defining factor is we've paid in full. So we've finished the job, and the property owner says, yeah, everything looks good to finish the job. I'm writing you a check. We've collected all the money. At that point, it then becomes warranty work.
Okay.
Now, if it's the end of the project, we're wrapping up, there's a punch list involved, things we need to finish up, and we miss something, then that means we're not done because we didn't finish the initial punch list or checklist. So then, of course, we'd come back and take care of that, and then we would be done and collect money. So.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's usually collecting the money means we're done.
Usually that defining point. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I hope that answers all of your questions and concerns about the specific topic of being gypped and of that nature, and just making sure that you're protected if you go ahead and do start the process, because it is a lengthy one, and and can cost you some money. So it's just being protected. So thank you guys for being here this morning and answering those questions.
Thank you,
appreciate you guys. Thank you for watching there at home. We appreciate you guys. We hope to see you in the next installment of New Home, Same Address. We'll talk to you next time.